Maharashtra, will they be taken up and given the reservation which is required by them? With these words, I support the bill. Thank you.
धन्यवाद। माननीय सदस्यों, मैं अगले वक्ता को आमंत्रित करने से पहले यह सदन को बताना चाहूँगा कि इस सदन को जैसी सूचना माननीय मंत्री संसदीय कार्य ने दी थी कि सरकार व विपक्ष ने संयुक्त रूप से तय किया है कि यह बहस 8 घंटे चलेगी। 12 बजे हमने दिन में यह बहस शुरू की थी। मैं अनुरोध करूंगा कि समय का पालन अब हम सब करें, क्योंकि निश्चित समय के तहत हमें इसे खत्म भी करना होगा, वोटिंग की भी प्रक्रिया होगी, क्योंकि संविधान संशोधन का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बिल है। इसलिए मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि कृपया समय का अनुपालन करें। श्रीमती कानीमोजी।
Thank you, sir. I raise to oppose this bill, which has been brought here to make a right wrong. I'd like to quote Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Such was his integrity and commitment to the Constitution that he said, "If I find the Constitution being misused, I shall be the first to burn it." Today, the legislature, the Constitution, everything is made a mockery of. This bill, it's a Constitution Amendment bill, and it has been brought and forced upon the Parliament, both the houses of the Parliament, overnight, without being sent to the Standing Committee, without being sent to the Select Committee, and without giving any member time to even reflect upon it. And this is what is happening to the Constitution. This is what is happening to the country today. That they think, the government thinks that they can unilaterally decide everything and just force whatever their decisions are on the people of this country. Sir, I come from the land of Periyar, which has a history of social justice legislation for more than 100 years. It was the first state to provide voting rights for women, and it was the first state to pass the first communal GO. It was the Justice Party which passed it. It was our leader, Dr. Kalangar, who formed the first Backward Classes Commission in the year 1969 and increased the reservation for OBCs from 25 to 30%. Yesterday, our leader, M.K. Stalin, has opposed this constitutional amendment bill when he spoke in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and reiterated the DMK's opposition to reservation based on economic criteria. Sir, the basic objective of reservation is to make sure that the historic wrong done to people in the name of religion and caste to the people of this country has to be made right. It is not out of mercy. It is their right that they deserve to be given their reservation. We have to understand, it is not economics. It is not because they were poor that they were denied rights to education and place in the governance. It is because they were born into particular castes which some people thought was less than them, lower than them, that they were deprived of any right. In this country, even today, there are children who have to drink from different pots in schools because they belong to the Dalit community. We in this country follows you. And we do not provide reservation for these people. We do not provide reservation for the Christian, Dalits. We refuse to provide reservation for the Muslims. Sachar Committee has said in its report that how economically and educationally and socially backward the Muslim brothers and sisters of this country are, and especially this government has suddenly developed a great concern and fondness for the Muslim sisters of this country. Being that case, they can empower them by bringing reservation. In Tamil Nadu, we have the DMK government brought 3.5% reservation for the Muslims. The government can do the same and empower the women they claim to be empowering. Sir, and you say that you want to help economically depressed classes. What is happening to the education loans which the UPA government bought? It's nearly been stopped. And the youngsters who borrowed money for their education, today, they are treated and they are not able to repay the loans because there's no employment opportunities. And that being the case, today, they are harassed and insulted by the banks like thieves. What is the government doing about that? What, without doing anything, without improving employment, without reaching out to those youngsters who've borrowed money for education, they're being harassed without even trying to help them. Nobody even listens to their problems. What is the point in bringing a bill to say that you are helping the economically
நம்முடைய
depressed
தலைவர்களை
classes?
பற்றி
Sir, this is all in the PV Narasimha Rao government. It tried to bring the reservation, but in the Indira Sahani case, the Supreme Court has clearly said that economic criteria should not be the sole basis for giving reservation. And in paragraph 799, the court held that a backward class cannot be determined only and exclusively with reference to economic criteria. It may be a consideration on the basis along with and in addition to social backwardness, but it can never be the sole criteria. But this government is trying to bring a bill only on the sole criteria on economic basis. And this was 8 judges out of the 9 judges have concurred with this view.
You have 5 minutes, please. Please conclude. I have already explained my situation.
Sir,
You have
I'm
5 minutes.
opposing-
Please conclude.
Sir,
Please
I'm
conclude.
one of the very few voices which is opposing this bill, and I think
Right. You
it's
have,
fair to
but
hear me out.
my limitation is that we have time limit. Please conclude. Please conclude, Kanimozhi ji. Please conclude.
Sir,
I
I
have
think-
my own
Adon
limitations.
Pangal
I have explained and requested. Please.
Sir, please allow her to complete her speech.
Sir, I have explained the problem which I am facing. Just I am requesting her.
We
Please
have
continue.
discussed 8 hours.
Please.
We cannot reduce.
No, just she has
She
to
can
conclude.
complete her speech.
Please.
इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है आखिरी मोमेंट में अगर आप इस तरह की बिल लाएंगे
मैं अलाउ माननीय जया जी मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूं
Please,
मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूं
please,
टाइम की
allow
समस्या
the
मैंने आप
honorable
सबके
member
सामने
to
बताई जो
speak.
हाउस ने तय किया था 8 घंटे मैं उसके तहत रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूं प्लीज कंक्लूड
Sir, and I'm,
Please.
Sir, this government,
Please.
sir,
Please.
this government can bring
Please.
this bill overnight, saying that it's an election promise, but they will
I
not.
am following
they
the
will not
norms which has been
introduce
decided by all of you.
30%
Please.
Reservation for women, and
Please.
it's so few women
Please
here,
come on the
and I'm
points
one
and
of the few
conclude.
women speaking on this bill,
Please
and you do
come on
not
the
want
points
me
and
to speak.
conclude please come on the points
Sir, when our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, moved the first amendment to the Constitution to provide reservation for socially and educationally backward classes, he deliberately denied to include the word economically in the amendment. Sir, today you say 10% reservation for the economically depressed classes. I'd like to know where you got this number of 10%. Has any research gone into it?
Of course not.
Has any study gone into it? When the DMK government in Tamil Nadu brought reservations, we had the Amba Shankar Commission, we had the first Satyanathan Commission was brought into place. After scientific study, detailed study, then the reservations were brought in. The same thing happened with the Mandal Commission. But today, you're bringing a number saying it's 10%. But how do you justify that number? And have you done any study that this number is going to help these people? They help the economically depressed classes. The numbers you're saying 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs actually covers nearly 97% of the population. And I mean, the government is not saying any numbers, but we are reading it in newspapers every day, that 8 lakhs is the ceiling. And 5 acres of land. 5 acres of land where? And how can economics be a basis? You've destroyed so many small-scale industries. Entire Tirupur and Tamil Nadu is destroyed because you brought the GST without consideration and your demonetization policies.
DHL ancillary.
So, how can you even fix economics as a criteria, as a base for reservation? It keeps varying. And you know this government's policy when it comes to agriculture. There's an agrarian crisis. You see how many farmers committed suicide. There was a big rally. The government didn't bother didn't pay heed to it. Our farmers from Tamil Nadu were here for months together to meet the Prime Minister. He did not find time. Nobody even bothered. Nobody even listened. They're struggling even today. And the kind of humiliation they went through in Delhi. And you want to talk about the land holdings. What do they get? Even if they have 5 acres of land, what do they get? Nothing. The only future the farmers in this country have is death. They're only looking at suicide. The entire Kaveri belt is dry. And you want to extract methane. And how do you fix economic criteria for reservation? Sir, you have to understand that the judgment already has said, unless there is an extraordinary situation, you cannot pass a reservation, you cannot bring a bill to amend and increase reservation. What is the urgency? What is the extraordinary situation? The only thing I see is in 100 days we have elections.
मैडम अगेन आपको जो समय था उससे दोगुना आप बोल चुकी हैं.
Sir, can you speak in a language I can understand, sir?
You have the time which was allocated to you have taken double of that. So please conclude now. Please.
Yes, sir, but we are not given opportunities.
Please conclude.
I'm talking on behalf of.
No, we support you.
I'm talking on behalf of thousands, millions and millions of people who
माननीय
have
आनंद
been
जी,
deprived.
माननीय आनंद जी, जो समय आप लोगों ने तय किया 8 घंटे का, उसके तहत मैं कह रहा हूं. मैं पुनः रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि प्लीज conclude. जो समय तय था उसका दोगुना समय मैंने दिया. आप मेरी सीमा और बंधन भी ध्यान रखें तो मुझे
Sir,
प्लीज आप कहें.
employment opportunities in the central government employment, until now, it is very clear that there is injustice toward the backward classes and the SCs and STs. More than so many years have passed, only 17%. There's been reservation in Group A services, 14% in Group B services, 11% in Group C services, 10% in Group D services. You cannot even implement this. Are you going? You first, it's already there. Please implement that. Then take the next step. What is the point in painting new dreams?
Please conclude now. Please conclude. Please conclude.
Sir, and yesterday, the Honorable Finance Minister, when he was speaking in the other house, he said very clearly that once both the houses of the parliament pass this bill, it does not have to be sent to the states. He is one of the best legal brains in the country. I respect him a lot, but
Please, Kanimozhi ji, please address your chair.
Politics, I don't want to get into that.
Please address the
Yes,
chair.
sir.
Please address your and conclude.
Sir, he has said that, but is it right? This is how can you say that it will not affect states? It affects states. It affects every single state in this country.
Law minister's answering.
And how can, and it violates the spirit of the
Please
cooperative
conclude,
federalism
please conclude.
enshrined in the Constitution. It goes against the grain of
It's
it.
already
And how
13
can you
minutes
say you
instead
will
of
not
5
send
minutes?
it and
Please
our
conclude.
opinion
Please
is not
conclude.
important.
Please conclude
Sir,
now.
with this, I say that this bill has to be sent to the select committee, and you are already bringing in, and I move my motion, and I want voting on that.
मैं पुनः एक सूचना देना चाहूंगा.